Welcome to week 4. So this week we start another practice project. So again, and we've said this multiple times, the best way to improve your writing skills is to practice. And so this course is a project-based course so that you have projects in which to practice developing your writing skills. This week, because we're dealing with web writing, this is a whole web writing class, we are focusing on data collection because we're really going to move to in the next module how data informs how we write and what writing looks like and the shapes that it takes. So we need to practice data collection so that it's a little less scary when we're collecting more. So I've given you the research question that you're going to use, and what you want to focus on, work through each of the steps of the data practice project in the week 1 of that project, because this is a 2-week project. Do the brainstorm on the audience and put your ideas together. Do the brainstorm on the hypotheses. You really need to think through. So you're given 2 choices and accounts. No matter which one you choose, you need to spend time on brainstorming. This is also a moment where, because we used AI in the last module, if you want to bring in AI to supplement your brainstorming, that might be a good idea. If you choose to do that, I need copies of the transcripts so that when you get flagged for using AI or when AI flagging shows up in your work, I know why. So if you choose to do that, that's perfectly acceptable. Again, AI is not going to give you all of the answers by any stretch, but it could help make a more robust brainstorm list for you. But you need to know what you're looking for first so that you know where AI is giving you good information and where it's giving you useless information. After you've brainstormed the backgrounds on the audience for the account that you've chosen, you need to brainstorm hypotheses. Studies in humanities look just like studies in sciences. Oh my goodness, humanities, sciences. If you have a research question, you need to have hypotheses. What is it that you're trying to find? What do you think this data is going to show? And then you're going to collect your data. That's about as far as you're going to get this week. Just make sure you've done all of the steps, the analysis of all of that, the actual graphing of the data, the putting together of the final essay to put all of that, in a written form to answer the research question. That is week 2 of the project, so that is next week. This week is all about brainstorming. You need to spend time brainstorming. Again, if you choose to use AI to help supplement your brainstorming, include those transcripts with your submissions. Not a requirement this week, the way that it was in the prior module. Once you get to the data collection, if you have any questions about the data collection, please let me know. But note, I've given you the chart. All you have to do is create it for yourself and fill it in, because I want to lower our stress levels on data collection. Because again, we're practicing and getting really comfortable with data collection, with systematic data collection, not cherry-picked data collection. Far too much social media research, and I honestly, personally would argue it's kind of bad social media research, is cherry-picked data where it's like this one post went viral, and so here are all of the conclusions about millennials today, or here are all of the conclusions about Gen Alpha today because of this one post. We want to be systematic. What does this look like over time? You have a very short window for this particular project, not to stress you out, but to keep this project small, to keep it manageable, and to really focus on the practice. So your goal here is to collect 5 posts in a row, whatever those 5 were. Not 5 over time, we're going 5 starting yesterday and then historic. So if something was posted yesterday, what was posted the day before and the day before and the day before, or if posts only come every 2 to 3 days, what was posted 2 days before that, or 3 days before that, or 5 days before that, working backwards until you get your 5 posts. You do not want to collect stuff that's posted immediately because you won't have good data. So you really need to pay attention to how does social media operate. The notes talk about this, and next week when we start reading, or not next week, sorry, in the next module when we start reading chapter 3, we'll go into this even more, but start thinking about it now. If a post is posting like right now while I'm making this video, I'm not seeing it, which means if you were also collecting data right now, you're not collecting the full sample of data. So you need to look at posts that are a couple days old, but no more than 2 months old, because then it starts to get too dated because the internet moves that rapidly. So we're looking for posts between approximately 2 days old and 2 months old, and that's your kind of ideal window for this class. We can get into all of the questions of depending on the account. You could have a larger window, you could go back further. We're going to deal with that in the next module. For the 2 account choices that you have now, pick one that can give you that data that's either about 2 days old to 2 months old, or about a week old to no more than 2 months old. Ideal window for collecting data so that you have time for those posts to be seen by the audience and to actually have data attached to them that you can collect for this project. Then you can start thinking about, although you don't need to make the connections yet, how does that data answer the research question? I've given you the research question for this particular project. Okay. If you have questions as you're working through the readings, and the notes will be submitted with Reflection 2. If you have questions while you're working through the data collection, or if you have questions while you're working for the brainstorming, especially if you use AI to supplement your thinking, please send me a note on Tumblr, or stop by office hours, or send me an email. I'll see you online.